and you push it like that, and it pulls out like that. So this is the brad gun, so any one of these nails would work. The brads come in a collated stack, meaning they're stuck together. They have heads, they have points, they go in all the way to the bottom, and you slide it up like that, like you're loading a staple gun. You know, like a regular kind of staple gun, except you put the nails all the way down at the bottom. Don't put them up here. That wouldn't be right. You put them all the way down at the bottom. So that nail goes there. The small nail. Sorry. Small nail goes like that. Make sure you don't put them in upside down. That would cause a whole bunch of problems. One side's got a head and one side doesn't. You're not looking at the right nail. You're looking at a micro pin. Okay. It would be pretty straightforward. Which is the top and which is the bottom. Is it?
That's the top, right? Okay.
Which end is going to go into the piece of wood first? The big T-shaped blunt end or the pointy end?
Pointy end goes to the wood.
Yeah. So the pointy end goes down. It's the bottom of the nail. The top of the nail is the little T-shaped head. So it goes in like that. Take this and close it. And that's loaded, ready to fire. Okay? They're pretty safe as long as you keep your hands away from the firing end and you keep them down on what you're nailing. They will have a recoil. So the bigger the nail gun, the more recoil you'll have. As you shoot it, it'll jump up. If you have your finger on the trigger and you jump up and then go back down, you will fire another nail right into the back of the nail that you just shot. And what will end up happening is the nail that you fire will get all bent up and it'll end up bent up inside the gun. If that happens on the more professional guns, you would take this like this, pull these nails out, this red handle you would flip down, and then the whole front of the gun comes off, and that's where the nail is shot. It would be bent up in that little track, and then you just pull it out. That's actually the pin that shoots the nail. That pin comes flying down like that and hits the nail and shoves it in. Okay? Next thing. If I'm shooting that nail and I'm shooting that nail into the same piece of wood, which is going to take more force to get into the wood?
The long one.
The long one. Okay? I might want to adjust how far the nail gets shot into the wood. On some guns, there is a physical adjustment. So on this gun, there is a little wheel that adjusts the depth, and there's a little gauge here. It doesn't tell you, again, it's like the clutch on the drill. There's no like setting that says this is what you do for this material and this size nail. You just gotta have to do it by feel, right? So you'll test it in a piece of scrap, adjust it until you get it to the right depth, the depth that you want. The only thing these physical depth adjustments are doing is they're changing where the safety actuates. So when you're on a shallow setting, this way, you can, when you push this all the way down, there's a gap between the bottom of the nail gun and the surface that you're nailing into. As you make this thing deeper, it just means that the face of the nail gun gets closer to the surface. And that's how they work. Okay, other guns don't have depth adjustment. So this gun doesn't have a depth adjustment. The only way you can adjust the depth on this gun is by changing the air pressure. How do you do that? You can't in here. You would need a regulator on your air line. And we don't have a regulator in here. The only regulator we have is we have one in the spray booth, and we have one on one of the outlets over there where we normally are nailing. We haven't really talked about compressors yet. Lots of times we have one big compressor and then we have some smaller compressors. When you're going on a job site, you're going to bring a small compressor, a little pancake compressor. It could be 2 horsepower or 4 horsepower. They're self-contained. They're small. They weigh about 50 pounds. They're a pain in the butt to move around on the job site, but they're useful. They're usually like 2 or 4 gallons, as I said. And that's enough to run these tools. Our big compressor out there is 80 gallons.